Good evening, good evening. How y'all, ladies and gentlemen, doing today? I get a lot of good ideas from these groups and different pages, different websites, and I want to talk about something today. I think people were having fun today since we don't have a game this weekend, so I came up with a great idea. I got a couple of videos I'm working on that I'm going to finish up. One of them is going to be, I'm going to talk about the lost decade, in which I'm going to say is really not a lost decade. I think where we're at, the period now we're in, could be considered a lost decade. And I'm going to cover a roster I'm going to make up, not my all-time roster. And I want to apologize to Rock Prescott or Rock Preston for not being added to my quarantine all-time Florida State roster. But I'm going to do a roster of guys that you may have forgot, or guys that you don't remember played for Florida State and were very good, or they was contributors, or they were some big names with a lot of hype and they did a little. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cover running backs that were very good, but they're not Dalvin Cook and Warrick Dunn. Now, obviously, you see behind me, there's the logo, big flag, pillows, Knowles shorts. So I got Knowles gear everywhere. It's Knowles all day. But I just got off work, getting ready to head to a rally, a UMWA rally in Tanny Hill, which is on the other side of McCalla. Going to go out there for a little bit. Right now, I have my uniforms on, but I haven't crossed the picket line. I would never do that. But I'm working a little dead-end job, and they want you to wear reflective stuff, so got it on. But it's kind of rough going to work when you know you're going to get screwed over or you're not going to be allowed to make good money. Now, I know every job not going to pay like the mine. You're not going to make anywhere from $80,000 to $200,000 as an hourly worker. I get that. But it's very frustrating going to work and you're not being able to kind of make some money and do the things you want to do while others are. So the job is very frustrating me, but right now all I can do is work and keep applying and keep holding on. So I'm not going to take up much more of your time. I'm going to cut right to it. I'm going to talk about a couple of quarterbacks, starting with Chris Rix, Adrian McPherson, Xavier Lee, and Drew Weatherford. A lot of people always blame Chris Rix for a lot of things. They jump on Chris Rix. They're always attacking him. To his defense, and this is no disrespect to the legendary coach Bobby Bowden, but under his watch as the head coach, he hired the wrong offensive coordinator and the wrong quarterback coach. Not saying Jeff Bowden or Darryl Dickey couldn't have been great coaches. I don't think they were great for what he wanted to do and what was needed. So let me say that. I fully have to blame the head coach because he's the head coach, and you can blame the offensive coordinator, and you can blame the quarterback coach. And don't let me just jump on Jeff Bowden, because one thing Jeff Bowden did is he ran the ball. He had Greg Jones, Nick Maddox, Leon Washington, and Lorenzo Booker, and he ran the ball. Florida State, I'm going to break this down in another video, the lost decade. 2002, 2003, and 2004, Florida State was good enough, if not to win one out of those all three of the national championships that year, those years. 2001, we knew we was going to take a step back because we lost so much depth from that graduating class. Now, Aaron, Charlie Ward, you turn it over to Charlie Ward, you go Danny Cannell, Thad Busby, then you get to Chris Winkie. So we know Mark Richt is proven. He's got 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, 2 national championships, and the offense didn't miss a beat. They were creative. They were innovative. We know we love the I formation. We love to go I formation, play action, 2 wide receiver, 1 wide receiver, spread the field. The offenses you see today come from the brain trust of Bobby Bowden, because Bobby used to call his plays for a long time, even when Scott was there. And he turned that over to Mark Richt. And Mark Richt got together and they developed an offense where Charlie Ward could really shine. And that's where you get this no huddle, kind of fast break offense. He was doing these things beforehand. And basically, we can call the zone read and the RPO basically this generation form of the option football. So with that being said, when he leaves, Florida State Mark Richt kind of takes a step back in 2001. In 2002, not 2003, they were primed and ready to make a run. And having the right coach and coaching staff, and not disrespecting Bobby Bowden, but having the right guys really makes a difference, because we lost the championship in 1998. We played in the 1999 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl by 7 points to Tennessee. If Chris Winkie plays, we beat them by 21 points. I would dare say 14-49, 14-41, 42, or 35-7. It's not close. Tennessee had a couple of big plays with Peerless Price, and Florida State's defense played out their mind that night, because it was constant 3-and-outs. It was constant confusion on offense by Florida State. And not to sell anybody short, Travis Minor had a big game, Dugan's tremendous game, and Lavernius Cole stepped up, and Marvin Menace. But we couldn't get the ball to the dude, Warwick. And he had a big catch, 9 yards, just made the defense look bad on a quick kind of step-up throw, and then he had the punt return. Should have scored, but somebody missed the block for him. But so that's coaching, because we had the third-string quarterback in Marcus Allison. Now, after Chris Winkie, and mind you, Chris Winkie got drafted. And let me say this. If you play high school football, you're good. It's not the high school's responsibility or fault what you do in college, okay? So when you're a college, any player, quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker, and you're good enough to get drafted or first round, it is not on the college what you do in the NFL. So with that being said, Winkie gets drafted. Now you have a quarterback that leaves who would have had 1 year eligibility out of, I think, Walla Walla, Washington. He was from the same high school as Drew Bledsoe, but he left. So you petition the NCAA to get a 6-year for Marcus Allison. They would not do it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but in this case they didn't. So you had no choice but to start Chris Rix. So they took a big step back in the 2001 season. So 2002, you now have the team that's loaded and ready. And you have a lot of mental errors, and that's from your coaching. Your quarterback coaching, your offensive coordinator, not doing what they need to do and getting...
Who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm doing a video. Sorry about that little technical difficulty. So we have some ups and downs, and that's all on the coaching staff. So we make it to the Sugar Bowl, play against Georgia. Georgia doesn't really do anything to win the game like people talk about they were so much better than us. We had a backup quarterback. He struggled. And we put a wide receiver at quarterback that did not practice. And I think his first or second pass, you can go look on YouTube and watch this. He hits a wide receiver 50 or 60 yards down the field. It may have been Talvin Gardner, who's one of my guys. Hits him down the field, puts the ball right in his hands, and he drops it. But to lose that game, I think they lost by less than 10 points. With your second string and wide receiver shows you just how talented that team was. So you move forward to 2003. We end up finishing 10-3. We lost to Miami twice, and we shouldn't have lost to Clemson. If we don't lose to Clemson, we are in the national championship game and probably win. At this time frame with Chris Rix, I know a lot of people get on him because he struggled against Miami, but you have to think about it. In this time frame, Miami only lost to what? Washington and Ohio State, and then they went 10-2 and beat us, and we finished 10-3. So it's not like they were just like they are now. They were a top-tier team. And with that being said, just look at it and judge for yourself. But if Chris Rix, I think some of the mistakes he made, a lot of mental errors were from poor coaching and really from a system that didn't benefit him. Because Chris Rix, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to Chris Winkie, but Chris Winkie is not a running quarterback. He may can scamper for a first down every now and then, but Chris Winkie is a true pro-style drop-back passer. You get Winkie time, he will carve you up. Chris Rix was a guy that was big. He was athletic. He ran the 4.6 or 4.5 in the 40, and he was gifted. But we didn't do the things we need to do as an organization to make him better. Well, then you recruit a guy like Adrian McPherson, who was Mr. Football, Mr. Basketball. And after the Notre Dame game, he starts, and you can see instantly that this is one of the guys that's going to be the future of the program. Well, he gets in trouble, and I blame that on coaching, not Bobby. But if you got a position coach and an offensive coordinator that demands excellence and demands accountability, I don't think he makes the mistakes he made. So that's another quarterback. Then you enter the absolute truth. The number one quarterback in the nation, number one dual threat quarterback, one of the greatest high school quarterbacks in Florida history, and I think a million times better than Tim Tebow, Xavier Lee. A guy that when he didn't think he was playing would go out and play lights out. When he practiced with the ones and start, he struggled. And that's coaching, and that's development, and that's system. So that's another quarterback. And Drew Weatherford was in that class, and he played, and he struggled. And if you look at the time frame after Drew Weatherford, you had a guy come in as a freshman and Christian Ponder. Then you get Jimbo Fisher, your offensive coordinator, and your quarterback coach. What happens? Christian Ponder goes in the first round. E.J. Manuel goes in the first round. And then Jameis Winston goes. So in between Mark Richt and Jimbo Fisher, it's evident your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator struggled to develop quarterback. And we may have actually, I'm telling you, if you really get down and look at it, Chris Rix, Adrian McPherson, and Xavier Lee are probably three of the most talented quarterbacks to ever come and wear garnet and gold. But because of bad coaching, the offensive line, it was not nowhere near like it is now. They had an offensive line that would give you time. But coaching, decision-making, those are things that happens through repetition and practice and repetition and study. And I just don't think they had it. If I'm telling y'all, if Chris Rix would have had an offensive coordinator, Bobby Bowden would have maybe hired Norm Chow or hired a coach that could push Chris Rix and coach him right, I guarantee you he would have got another national championship. 2003 they would have won, if not 2002. But because he struggled mentally, and I'm not taking nothing away from Miami because they made a lot of teams struggle. They were just a fast team. I mean, you're talking about he went up against Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Buchanan, Rump. He went up against some guys. He went up against some flat-out dogs. So everybody struggled. But I do think we should have won the game. Definitely think we should have won in 2000 Orange Bowl and 2002. And probably if it doesn't rain, we would have won in 2003. But just my opinion, you guys, I think you have to look at the coaching. Everybody loves to jump on Chris Rix, and I know they do. They love to jump on Xavier Lee. But if those guys are better coached and properly coached, I think they pull off more wins. I think Bobby gets at least 2 more national championships. But because of bad coaching from his position coach and offensive coordinator that didn't use him right and didn't really know how to use him, it hurt. And it hurt the kids and hurt the program. So just think about it. Like I say, in between Mark Richt and Jimbo Fisher, you had quarterbacks getting drafted. Winkie got drafted. The only reason why Winkie wasn't a first or second round draft pick because of his age, or he would have went in the first or second round. But he fell, I think, to the either third or fourth or fifth. But he got drafted and played. And as soon as Jimbo Fisher comes in, you got 3 straight quarterbacks go. 3 straight. 3 straight go in the first round. So what does that tell you? Now, as I close this video, if you like what I'm talking about, or you want to give me some ideas or something you want to hear, comment. Trust me, I may work, but I do read the comments, and I actually enjoy doing this. I got 23 or 24 subscribers, and I do my best for them 23 or 24. So getting that out the way, if you comment on it, I will get back with you and talk about things. Before I end this video, I want to say how disappointed I am in the AD, the president, and the administration, and the boosters for trying to destroy Doak Campbell Stadium. What they're doing, I think, is very wrong, and it's very troubling, and it's really very sad to destroy what used to be the biggest stadium in the ACC and a top 10 stadium, top 10, top 15 stadium in college football in sheer size, and obviously I think one of the prettiest stadiums with one of the best college football atmospheres. But I just want to touch bases with y'all today about these quarterbacks, and that's just my opinion. Like I say, I wasn't in any meetings, any rooms. Coach Bowden did what he thought was right. But again, after so long, he did end up making a change at the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. And maybe he makes that change later or sooner. I think they would have done a lot better and won more games, because Chris Rix can ball. I mean, he was a Gator killer, but he struggled against Miami. But even with one loss, you can make it to the national championship. So, you know, just one coach, one offensive mind away from developing these guys and win. But we had really, I would say, and nothing to sell Drew Weatherford short. I know he's stepping up and he's on the board of trustees. I saw him play against Troy. He was a tremendous kid too. Had a lot of upside, but it's just bad coaching. Fundamentals, sloppy technique, and it affected them guys. And I really think all four of those quarterbacks, could have got in the NFL. I definitely think Rix, McPherson, and Xavier Lee could have been first-round draft picks, top 5, top 15 picks, and Drew Weatherford could have been a first-rounder or whatever. But because they struggled, and they struggled mightily, it really hurt them and hurt their draft stock. I think Xavier Lee ended up making the NFL as a tight end for a little bit, and Adrian McPherson ended up going to the Arena League, and then he ended up making the NFL. But just think about that. Who was your offensive coordinator? Who was your quarterback coach? Think about the mistakes that Chris Rix made. The interception against Louisville. Think about some of the bonehead plays y'all complain about. If he has a coach that pushes him, how a Jimbo Fisher, how a Mark Richt, or I'm just saying Norm Chow, or a hot coordinator at the time, or somebody that could really teach at any level. If Bobby Bowden hires a coach that can coach these kids and develop them, he would have got another national championship. So like I said, I thank y'all for y'all time. Y'all have a good, great, wonderful day. Stay grateful and stay thankful. See you later. Go Noles.